with the right of the dedication of a church. It would be better, even desired, even a must, that you dedicate the church within a Eucharistic celebration. When a church is dedicated, therefore, the liturgy texts of the day are omitted, and texts proper to the rite are used for both the liturgy of the word and the liturgy of the Eucharist. That's why we say you cannot dedicate it on Christmas, on Easter, on all sorts, because that day the rite of Mass will be for the dedication of the church. Not Easter, not Sunday. That's why they say remove all those days and find another day. It is fitting that the bishop concelebrate the Mass with the priests who take part with him in the rite of dedication, and those who have been given charge over the parish or the community for which the church has been built. So he concelebrates, for example, if it's a big church, when it comes to anointing the pillars, which we must find somewhere, the pillars, the work of dedicating the altar, the incensing of the name, you see that it's starting with one man. So, as doing this, another priest will be doing that, helping him. That's why I say you should associate with other priests. Office of the dedication. The day on which the church is dedicated is kept as solemnity in that church, if it's a parish church. The office of the dedication of a church is celebrated beginning with evening prayer 1, when the rite of depositing relics takes place. So it's good to deposit, if it was the place to put relics here, it will be done on evening prayer 1. It is highly recommended to keep a vigil at the relics of the martyrs or saint that are to be placed beneath the altar. The best way of doing this is to have the office of reading taken from the respective common or proper. This vigil, okay, that's the vigil. Part 3, the rite. Entrance into the church. I think this is what you're waiting for. Yes. The rite of the dedication begins with the entrance into the church. This may take place in one of the 3 following ways. The one best suited to the circumstances of time and the place is to be used. So there are 3 ways. You choose one. Procession. Procession to the church to be dedicated. All assemble in a nearby church. You can assemble in a nearby place. I see there is a big compound here. It's so too big, as if there is going to be celebrations here. Anyway, this can also be used for ordination because I said very big compound. Okay. Procession to the church will be dedicated. All assemble in a nearby church or other suitable place from which the bishop, the ministers, and the congregation will proceed to the church to be dedicated, praying or singing. The best way is to sing. So we have to arrange somewhere. Mainly, better the entrance, because that's the way you go. Here there is this sign, whatever. So assemble somewhere, and then the procession begins coming to the church singing. Solemn entrance. If the procession cannot take place or seems inappropriate or importune, the community gathers at the entrance of the church at maximum. There is a church dedicated in Matasi. That's how the bishop, that bishop of Gom. It's a plot. They bought a plot and put a church. Almost like the other pew which is there. This was the main door. there was nothing others to step in people's gardens. So people gathered around the door, and the bishop did his work. Okay. Simple entrance. You could use a procession, solemn entrance, or simple entrance. The congregation assembles in the church itself. The bishop, the consecrants, and the ministers enter from the sacristy in the usual way. Which one should we choose? There are three. In the church, at the door, or somewhere at the door. Which one is better? Because now we begin the selection. Because we cannot start from inside here. I think it is the service or confession. Augustinians are sinners. They need a confession. You have men who are sinners. They told you already is one of the significance, but things disappear. Okay, we have to choose one. I think it could be either at the door, or these days you have to prepare two things. Like in Tangazo, we have the planning committee. We plan with something very big to go around and whatever. And we said, in case it rains, in the morning the rain came. But we were not affected because we had planned both. If it rains, we do this. If it doesn't rain, we do this. It rained, so the other was already cancelled. And then the president came in, and everything had to be changed because his security has to take over. And we have to agree to that. This is the head of state. Okay. Two rituals are most significant in the entrance into a new church. One, the handing over of the keys. Somebody has to hand over a contractor whom you have chased out from here. When we ended, they said there's somebody used the word, there is some prayer we are going to do. The man had to disappear. Umbe is a simple prayer. So that is when a new church, like big St. John, those big churches, somebody has to hand over the keys. So the handing over of a church, representatives of those who have been involved in the building of the church, hand it over to the bishop. It may not be necessary. This is a community, and there are superiors in the community here. We suppose that when that day comes, the church is already handed over to the superior of the community, or to the provincial, or to the vicar provincial. So that may not be necessary. The sprinkling of the church, the bishop blesses water, and with it sprinkles the people who are the spiritual temple. Then the walls of the church, and finally the altar, the liturgy of the word. 3 readings are used in the liturgy of the word. The texts are chosen from those in the lectionary. Number 704.